Okay, the next soundbar I want to talk about is one that I got at the beginning of 2020 when I first moved into my Burnaby apartment, and I just got my LG C9 OLED TV. So I have a giant 55-inch 4K OLED TV, and yeah, I actually the soundbar for the Sony soundbar was actually kind of too big to actually fit, I think, on the actual TV stand that I bought for this. So I decided to get another soundbar, and this one is actually a little bit cheaper, but still fairly expensive, I would say, like if you're talking about MSRP. So this is the LG SL10YG. MSRP for this soundbar was $1,300 US, so it's still quite an expensive soundbar, but I didn't pay full price for this. Just like with the Sony, I think I only paid $1,000 for the Sony, which is still expensive, but it's better than the $1,500 MSRP. For this soundbar, I paid $500 US, so roughly less than half the price actually that it was retailing for. So I actually got this at quite a deal. So that's another reason I got it. And another reason is because, well, it's LG, right? So it pairs well with my LG TV. So LG soundbar with LG TV pairs better, right? Makes sense. So yeah, let's talk a bit about this soundbar. So unlike the Sony's, it's not as powerful or as big as the Sony's. Still fairly big, but it's not as big as the Sony's. It's a 5.1.2 instead of a 7.1.2 like the Sony's are. So yeah, this one only has a total of 5 speakers on the front, and it has 2 up-firing speakers, again, because of the Dolby Atmos. And again, it's trying to duplicate the effect of having speakers on your ceiling by firing upwards at the ceiling and bouncing it off to kind of recreate that ceiling effect. And then it's trying to use virtual surround technology, just like the Sony. I mean, basically all the high-end soundbars do this nowadays. Or not even high-end, just like all soundbars. They try to have this virtual surround technology to try to make it feel like you have virtual surround speakers in the back and sides and stuff. So yeah, this is like obviously not going to replace an actual discrete like setup where you have surround speakers on the side and back, but it is trying to give that effect virtually with DSP technology. So it is trying to make you feel like it, although it's obviously not quite as convincing as having actual speakers there. However, LG actually sells a separate wireless surround sound kit that includes 2 surround speakers for the rear, and I actually bought these as well. So these, I paid about $120 US for them, but basically they connect wirelessly with the soundbar. So basically you plug in like this external, I'm not sure what to call it, some kind of processor, I guess. You connect that, and then you hook that up to the rear speaker kit, and then it'll connect wirelessly to the soundbar. And these surround speakers are fine. I mean, they're not great or anything, but they'll give you like definitely better presence, right, than the virtual surround for sure, because they're actually physical speakers. They're 70 watts each, I believe. And they're fairly small and light, so they're not going to be like really powerful or anything like that. But they're just weird speakers, so you don't really need them to be like really powerful, anyways. So they're just there to add like ambient effects and stuff like that. And for that, I mean, they're fine. Yeah, I'm not as good as my current surround speakers, which are my Martin Logan 2i's, but I mean, for $120 for both of these, and yeah, I mean, yeah, connected to a soundbar, fine, like it's still better than most soundbars with a virtual surround. So having the LG SPK8s, I think that's what they're called, SPK8s wireless surround sound kit, I recommend getting this if you're getting the soundbar. So it will actually add some physical like rear surround presence to your music and in movies. So definitely I do recommend it. It's not that expensive, and it'll definitely add a sense of spaciousness, right, to your sound. And it's decent, right, for what it is. So yeah, going back to the soundbar again, the LG soundbar, this one uses Meridian technology because LG actually partners with Meridian Audio for several of their audio products. So a bit about Meridian Audio. Meridian Audio is a British company that's well known for making very high-end audio equipment. So they make very high-end speakers, they make very high-end streaming devices, they make very high-end like network players, amplifiers, things like that. They're also like well known for their technologies. So they're known for Meridian lossless packing, which is a lossless compression technique for PCM audio. And more recently, probably they're well known for developing the MQA standards. So MQA is a technology that stands for Master Quality Authenticated, which is basically a lossy audio compression format, but it unfolds into like a lossless audio equivalent, I guess. So it's an interesting technology. So these days, I think a lot of high-end audio equipment, so streamers and DAPs are going to support MQA. So it's still kind of a new technology, but you have more and more high-end audio equipment now supporting it. But essentially, it is like a lossy compression format, but apparently it tries to like unfold, I guess, into a lossless compression format. So it's basically like trying to be like a FLAC or a WAV file, or I'm not sure if it goes up to DSD level, but it is trying to be like a lossless thing, but it's trying to take up less space than typical lossless files, because usually lossless files like FLACs take up a lot of space. MQA is really trying to it's trying to keep the same sound quality as lossless, but it's trying to also get the small space, the portable amount of space as an MP3, right? Because MP3s don't take up a lot of space, FLACs do, but FLACs sound better, right? MQA is really trying to sound as good as FLAC, but take up the same amount of space as MP3. So anyways, that's what Meridian Audio is known for. They're actually a storied British audio brand with a lot of technology and expertise behind them. So I guess that's why LG decided to work with them. And apparently what Meridian does is they combine, or they actually help out LG with their digital signal processing. And I guess that's what Meridian is good at, right? Is that kind of integration between the software algorithms and the hardware. So anyways, I haven't owned an LG soundbar in the past without Meridian, so I don't know like how much better the Meridian technology makes the soundbar, but it's cool that they co-branded with Meridian. Anyways, it gives them a little bit more leverage competing against Samsung and Sony and I guess all the other soundbar makers, which is pretty much most consumer audio companies these days, right? Like Klipsch, Definitive Tech, Sonos, Pioneer, Yamaha. A lot of companies make soundbars these days. Polka Audio, like so many different companies. So yeah, anyways, the Meridian Audio basically gives them a little bit more prestige and leverage to compete with all these other soundbar manufacturers. And yeah, this is a Dolby Atmos soundbar, also supports DTS-X, has Google Assistant built in, which is nice. Always like to have, if you have like your Google Home Hub and everything, your Nest Hub, then this soundbar will integrate right with that, which is nice. 4K pass-through, so that's pretty standard. And yeah, let's just keep going over the specs here. Yeah, this has Bluetooth streaming. Doesn't actually say which codecs it supports. I'm guessing it's a standard AAC SPS codecs, but it doesn't say anything about LDACs, probably not LDAC. And aptX, I don't think it says anything about aptX, so probably not that either. So just your standard Bluetooth streaming, I'm guessing, with AAC and SPS. And has Chromecast built in, so that's nice, USB playback. Can also act as a hi-fi DAC, apparently has 24-bit upsampling. And yeah, integrates with all your Google devices because it has Google Assistant built in. 570 watts of total power is what it has. Just huge. That's a massive amount of power. I don't think I'm ever going to use the full amount of power because yeah, this soundbar goes really loud. I remember using it and it just goes really, really loud. This is a pretty powerful soundbar as well. Not as powerful as the Sony's, I don't think. I mean, the Sony's does have 7 speakers in the front. This only has 5. But still very, very powerful soundbar. So yeah, the subwoofer is 220 watts, fairly big subwoofer as well. Again, not as big as the Sony's, but still pretty big subwoofer. And yeah, you have 2 front surround speakers, 50 watts each, and then you have a center 50-watt speaker, and then you have 2 50-watt side speakers, which they call surround speakers, and then you have 2 other 50-watt speakers that's up firing, so that's for the Atmos And then they have some other technologies like bass blast, I guess increases the bass, some movie mode, which increases the dialogue, and it supports all your regular Dolby and DTS formats, just like the Sony. So Dolby True HD, Dolby Digital, DTS HD Master Audio, DTS:X, Dolby Digital Plus, DTS Digital Surround, Atmos obviously. So yeah, it supports LCPM, supports all of those formats as you would expect. And yeah, Bluetooth 5.0, and it has 2 HDMI inputs, which was one of the things I don't like about the subwoofer. One of the reasons why I switched to a dedicated, like, discrete 5.1 setup with my Marantz receiver, one of the reasons why I decided to do that is because just the LG soundbar only has 2 HDMI inputs, and just soundbars in general don't have many inputs. Like the Sony only has 3, the LG only has 2, and I want to connect, like, at least 5 different devices. So yeah, and unless you get like an HDMI switcher, which I don't like to get, it's just the soundbar just doesn't have enough inputs. So that's one of the issues with soundbars, I find. So yeah, this soundbar is pretty good. It sounds pretty good, pretty nice, and so does the Sony. The Sony and the LG soundbars, these 2 soundbars have sounded probably, like, for me, like, soundbars, obviously still lag behind discrete setups, like 5.1 and 7.1 setups, but these 2 soundbars sound pretty good in my opinion. Still pretty good. So especially, and they're really powerful. Like, yeah, the only problem for this is, I think the main reason that prompted me to upgrade is not only to get the discrete surround setup, to get better spaciousness and better, like, soundstage, but and better sound quality, I guess, as well, because you can use dedicated speakers and stuff like that, but also because I want to use a receiver, then I can plug in more of my devices, because yeah, I have at least 5 devices I need to plug in at any time, and this LG soundbar only has 2 inputs. That's what the thing I don't like about it. Even the Sony had 3, right? This LG one only had 2. It also has an optical input, and it has HDMI to HDCP 2.2 out, so that's pretty much what you expect these days. And yeah, that's it, pretty much it about this soundbar. I think overall the Sonys are more powerful, and sound quality wise I think the Sonys may have been a little bit better, but the LG is still pretty good. Yeah, so the LG and the Meridian technology, or whatever they use, still pretty good. And I think the main reason why I got rid of it is just mainly I want to have a receiver where I can put a whole bunch of my inputs in, and plus, I want to get like a discrete setup where I can actually feel, the impact of different speakers, like, from different positions, right? That's not something you can really do with the soundbar. Soundbar is always going to be, the speaker's always going to be the same position. It's not going to be that far apart, just the nature of a soundbar. Even though the soundbar is these 2 soundbars are pretty wide soundbars, but even still, right, you don't get as much of a sound stage, or imaging is not as good as with a discrete setup. So yeah, but that said, the SL10YG and the Sony HTST5000 are still both really good soundbars. Really expensive, but hey, you can actually find them online fairly cheap now, as these are actually fairly old. So yeah, the LG is at least like 3 years old, and the Sony is like 5 years old now. So they're fairly old now, so you can get them, probably much cheaper online. But I also highly recommend, if you buy the soundbar, get the SPK8 wireless surround rear speaker kit. That will actually add some nice, actual discrete type of technology to the mix and to the setup. So it's not like a fully discrete setup. It'll add definitely more presence, and you'll actually feel the sound coming from behind you. Whereas the virtual surround technology just is not that convincing to me. So I mean, there's only so much that DSP can do. So it's not going to actually duplicate the effect of actual physical speakers coming from behind you. So if you do decide to get the SL10YG, I highly recommend getting the SPK8 rear surround sound kit to pair with it as well. So that's it. That's the LG SL10YG soundbar 5.1.2 channel. Meridian technology, Dolby Atmos DTSX for both of these. Yeah, I think these are both nice soundbars if you can find them at a reduced price. And I know the advantage of soundbars too is they can save space, and people just don't like to set up receivers and discrete setups. I know there's cables everywhere, and yeah, people just don't want to deal with that hassle. So I understand there is a market for soundbars, right? And these are two of the best. So yeah. Alright, this is Jedi Fallen Order. I have everything turned up to high, but not ultra right now, to keep the frame rates a little bit smoother, but everything else is turned up. I have all the other settings turned on. It's at 4K HDR. That's all been turned on.
Watch out, BD.
Inside here.
Mother used this fabric to keep her child warm. He wanted to run from something. Skin cream. Should be here. Wait, can you carry more? Thanks, BD1.
Cal, over here. You did good work on the countdown. The more information we gather on Cordova and Zephyr, the closer we'll get to stopping the Empire.
Hang on.
Sure, yes. A part of the test?